Ancient OG, carved in stone, from Philly bricks to thrones, unknown. 808s beat like war drums bang. Old soul talk, let the gods explain. Ancient OG, bloodline strong. Been here before the right and wrong. From past to now, I still remain. Ancient OG in the hook, remember the name.
Like, I don't know who, like, made all these rules up. See, a lot of times people make rules up and they make laws, and then, you know, they was young, back then, and then, 100 years later, you still got the same laws, the same rules and regulations, and that's why a lot of people saying, like, fuck the streets. I would never say the streets because I got family there, but I understand what they mean. But the streets mean, like, fuck the rules of the streets. Like, somebody made certain rules up. It's corrupt. It's corrupt. You know what I'm saying? It's corruption. That's what we say. That's what I don't like about the streets is corruption. In Islam, they call it the Dunya. It's called the Dunya, the worldly life. It's called the Dunya. Now, it's rules that the Prophet Muhammad had set to show you, like, okay, what the Dunya all about and how to move through the Dunya. You know what I'm saying? Once you know that, you're gonna know how to stay away and all of that kind of stuff. You still gotta come see your family. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, he left where he was from. He was from Mecca. He had to leave Mecca. Niggas where he was from, they was trying to murk the Prophet Muhammad. Every time he walked outside, walked with his little followers, they trying to murk him. The boy who ran Mecca at the time, a boy named Abu Jahal, he ran Mecca at the time, and Prophet Muhammad, he was preaching some things that went against their religion. So he starts, putting out little hits on him, and people would try to come knock the Prophet off. You know what I'm saying? They tried a lot of times. Until one day, the angel Jibril had to tell the Prophet, yo, it's time for you to roll. It's time for you to roll. Because he will only move when the spirit come, tell him. You know what I mean? You notice every time he talked to the angel Jibril, he was scared to death. They say he was out like in the woods somewhere like this. You know what I'm saying? And when he would leave his companions, he'd be like, I'll be back, I'm about to go holler at angel Jibril. And he would go, and when he come back, the companions say, Prophet be looking scared to death, like he shook, like, the sight of seeing an angel, the sight of seeing an extraterrestrial being that's more advanced than you, highly intelligent technology, can do all kinds of incredible stuff. When you talking to something like that, you're gonna be scared to death. This is why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he first became a prophet, the angel Jibril came to the cave that the Prophet Muhammad was meditating in. Angel Jibril walked in that joint, like, yo, what's up? And Prophet Muhammad like, oh, he's scared to death. He can't run nowhere. So Angel Jibril said, yeah, I got you. He grabbed him up. He gripped him up, like, made him submit. Like, yeah, you a prophet, man. You know what I'm saying? Finally, the Prophet was like, Muhammad was like, all right, I'll do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He sent him on a mission. Now, I'm your big homie. Angel Jibril was his big homie. You know what I'm saying? So any problems he had, he go and holler at Angel Jibril. Anytime Angel Jibril wanted to come let him know what's up, he got to go have that face-to-face with Angel Jibril. And that used to always leave him sweating and scared to death. You know what I'm saying? You can read any hadith, any ayah out the Quran, and it'll tell you how he was acting after every time he saw Angel Jibril. You know what I'm saying? So it got to the point where Angel Jibril was like, yo, they really gonna murk you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was other angels. Look, Prophet Muhammad had extraterrestrials pulling up on him. Like, yo, what's up? These niggas, they want to play? He was like, yo, I drop a whole mountain on his head right now. I drop a whole mountain on this town right now. All you got to do is say the word. Prophet Muhammad like, nah, I ain't going to do that. You know what I'm saying? He say, man, they might grow up to be Muslims one day. You know what I'm saying? So he was merciful. Like Allah said he the most merciful. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, he had mercy on the people who was trying to slaughter him. The same people that was trying to slaughter him, slander his name. They were saying he was a magician, he was a soothsayer, he was a child molester, all kinds of shit. And they said he was a liar. They was trying to kill boy and get him out of here because he kept having all these followers. You know what I'm saying? See, back then, internet right now, when you online, you got followers and shit like that. But back in the day, before the internet, before this Facebook and YouTube and all that shit, the prophets only one, they had followers. They had followers, bro. In the street. The Prophet Muhammad walk outside and had like 50, 100 people walking with him. Jesus and them walking around with a whole army behind him. All the shit that these celebrities be doing right now, this is how the prophets was moving. They was moving. When you see the prophets, dudes would bow, they would cry, they would say, hey, take a picture with me. If they took pictures, they would just like, want to meet the prophet. You feel me? So they was the biggest celebrities back then, the prophets. You know what I'm saying? This is why I always say, if you look at time now and you had to compare it to all those, you would say, damn, the celebrities right now, the celebrities and entertainers is like the prophets now. You see what I'm saying? And the Anunnaki know that. That's why they keep their foot on these entertainers' neck. And they ain't allowed to look out for their hood. They ain't allowed to do shit. You bet not, you know, because they scared of them turning into politicians. Because when you turn to a politician, when you start challenging the law, everything is paperwork. Dirty contracts on the record labels, the same contract as the race of black people is in a contract with America. All these laws, institution laws, all these amendments and all that shit only could be changed through court hearings. And somebody would have to recognize the contract and then go back and negotiate these laws. And then that's where politicians and shit come from. That's why they don't want you in, because once you start doing shit like that, guess who's gonna vote for you? Millions of people. So you got the power to change the laws. And this is what they fear the most. You know what I'm saying? This is why dudes like Tupac was about to not even be in the industry. He wanted to just go and be a Black Panther and do politics and shit like that. This is why gang leaders and shit in jail that finally realized what kind of power they had, they're like, oh no, we going into politics. That's why 50 Cent say, hey man, certain things I stay away from. Because that's the biggest threat, dog. It's politics. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Prophet Muhammad sallam, once he became a prophet, his city where he came from, Mecca, where he came from, was trying to murk him. He had to leave out the city, bro. He had to go. And all the times he went outside all the time. It was sometimes where the Prophet Muhammad sallam had to go and retreat to the cave. He'd go up to the cave just to get away from the hood, just to get away from the Dunya. They call it the Dunya, the worldly life. He would get depressed at parties. He wouldn't drink alcohol. He would always hear all the chaos going on around. It would stress him out. He would go up to the mountains to get away from everybody and sit up there and just meditate. And then one day, his meditation, his prayer was been so powerful that an angel came to him and recruited him, initiated him into prophethood. You see what I'm saying? Now, about the streets and all that, the Dunya, I've been saved for streets a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't because a nigga did some shit and fell, or a nigga told, or it was just for the simple fact that when you start to have an awakening, all right, look, put it like this. If you smoke crack, if you're a drug addict, right, and you wanted to stop being a drug addict, you're going to have to stop hanging around all your drug addict friends, all the drug places you've been, all the environments you was at when you have to remove yourself from that in order to heal, you know what I'm saying, and recover. That's the best bet. That's the best way to do it. If you trying to stop smoking crack, but you still hang with your homie, he smoke crack all day around you all day, and you see it's gonna be hard. You're gonna relapse. You see what I'm saying? So the best thing to do is to remove yourself from that environment. Now I'm gonna give y'all this last hadith. I'm gonna give y'all this hadith before I dip about leaving the streets alone. All right. Now I'm gonna tell y'all about this dude. He had more hats, he had more bodies than all you. None of them was more tougher than this brother right here, who I'm talking about in this hadith. It was a story, right? It was a man. He had 99 bodies. He had 99 hats. Which one of you got 99, killed 99 people? None of y'all. You know what I'm saying? This was a tough, you know what I'm saying? So he said, damn, when I die, man, I want to do something that's going to help me save my soul from the hellfire. See, when I die, I got to figure this out. So he went to a monk, one of them real smart monks. He said, yo, bro, he said, I'm trying to get my soul right with God. I killed 99 people. What can I do to get my soul right? You know what the monk told him? The monk said, man, you can't do nothing. It's over for you. It's a wrap. You done killed 99 people? Oh, man, you going to hell. But that you know what the murderer, you know what the killer did to him? He killed him. Now I got 100 bodies. I got 100 hats. So he's still trying to get his soul right though. He go to an Islamic scholar. He said, yo, I killed 100 people. How the fuck am I supposed to get my soul right with God? So the Islamic scholar, you know what the Islamic scholar told him? Yo, the Islamic scholar said, he said, migrate for the sake of Allah. When you migrate, this was the Islamic scholar told him, when you migrate for the sake of Allah, meaning you leave the evil land that you did all these sins in, you leave that land, you go somewhere else, and you start over fresh. That's migrating for the sake of Allah. And he said, if you do that, Allah will accept you in paradise. Man was like, damn. He said, you know what? All right. He said, I'm going to do that. That makes sense. And he didn't kill the man. He packed his, got his squad, and went on and was on a journey. He was on a long ass journey to go to where he was going. And guess what happened to him? He almost went on his journey. He dropped dead. Nobody say what happened. Nobody. I don't know if he got shot, killed, stabbed, or what. But he dropped dead. Now guess what happened? 2 angels come. 2 angels come. One of them like, yo, I'm taking this into the hellfire. The other angel like, oh, whoa. I'm taking him to paradise. He was migrating for the sake of Allah. So he's like, no, I'm taking him to hell. I'm taking him to paradise. They say, we're going to go talk to Allah about this. There goes holler at Allah. Guess what Allah told him? He said, yo, measure the distance between where that man left that evil land to where he was migrating to. If he closer to the place he was migrating to, then you can bring him up here to paradise. But if he closer to that evil land where he did all the sins at, take him to the hellfire. Angels rushed down there to the location where the man dropped dead at. They measured the distance. And guess what? This man made it closer to where he was going to change his life at by a cubic of an inch. And in another hadith, another story, they explained that story. They said Allah stretched the ground just a little bit so he can make it. So that lets you know right there, when you migrate for the sake of Allah, you can be accepted to paradise. So I've been on that a long time. Once I start really awakening and really figure the streets out, figure how the snakes move, how the backbiting. You just never know why niggas don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Niggas always hating on me my whole life. I migrated for the sake of Allah years ago, but I always remember that hadith. This is why when people see me like from my past, they're like, oh man, I remember you was out here wilding out. You was doing this, you was doing that. You never know what God forgave me for. You never know the type of work that I put in spiritually. How many times I bumped my head on this prayer rug. How many nights I stayed up till 5 in the morning to make Fajr prayer. How many times I asked Allah to forgive me. How many times I done found ayats in the Quran, certain phrases that you can say, well, Allah forgive you for all your sins.
Ancient OG, carved in stone, from Philly bricks to thrones, unknown. 808s beat like war drums bang. Old soul talk, let the gods explain. Ancient OG, bloodline strong. Been here before the right and wrong. From past to now, I still remain. Ancient OG in the hook, remember the name.